As well as what I was keen to do with these shootcasts was to educate, but for education, we can inspire, we can help and support and demonstrate our values of success to help others along the way. So I wanted to make sure it wasn't just Rachel and I yabbling away about stuff and telling you, "Oh, you should do this, you could do that," but actually giving you some real ideas, some real kind of next steps type stuff. So I wanted to turn those reflections and those ideas we've been briefly introduced into, okay, what can I do about it? You sat there, you're listening to Chris and Rachel yabbling away about marketing, commercial, there's gap, there's opportunities, AI, there's lots of stuff going on. But what can we do to turn that conversation, to turn those opportunities, to turn that marketing activity, move somebody essentially from point A to point B? So your marketing should not just be a case of stick a post on Facebook, stick a post on TikTok and reach 100,000 people. There's got to be a point, there's got to be a clear call to action. So what do we do about it? So I think one of the key things you can do is we call it a 90-day roadmap. It's essentially an action plan. And the first point on that roadmap is thinking about your commercial goal. We've mentioned that at the beginning. So what is it you're trying to actually achieve in the next 90 days? That's a great starting point. You can do it by quarter. August is a good time because it leads you towards the back end of the year. So what is it you're trying to do? Do you want to increase your, I'm always making a smart goal. So do I want to increase my revenue by 25% in the next 90 days? Great smart goal. Do I want to keep, I don't know, 95% customer retention rate in the next 90 days? Whatever it is. So you think about your commercial goal as the first and foremost thing. That should be the thing to think about. Then I think the next step for me, obviously, would be to think about the audience. So who is it? Which buyer segment are you looking at? Who is it you want to talk to? What are their pain points? What are their challenges? And the big question within that for me is, what is the thing that's keeping them awake at night? What is the big challenge? What's the problem? What is your business solving for them? And then obviously thinking about the offer. So what does the offer look like to get in front of them? Do we use some of that AI? Do we use some of those tools to create an offer, a position, a thing, a tool even that can solve that problem for the audience? And then think about how do we get in front of them? One of the things we've noticed in the last couple of years as we shifted towards this more curriculum based commercial growth system is that we've been a hell of a lot more productive and profitable by doing less, by really focusing our time and effort in solving pain points and challenges for customers. And that's allowed us to get in front of more, the right people at the right times. We've done less networking, less posts online, less of this and that, but it's allowed us to really think about where do we spend our time and how do we get there to help customers succeed in their right. So I think there's a good start for 6, I would say. So think about commercial goal, think about your audience, think about the offer, and think about how you get the offer in front of them would be my tips and takeaways from this session. Have you got anything to add to that, Rachel? Any quick tips or wins that maybe you want to share?
Not really. I think the main thing is actually just having a plan and knowing your numbers, I think is the key thing. Even if you don't like numbers, you need to have that sort of plan. You need to know what's going on. You're basically targeting what your operating costs are. Well, how are you going to make money at the end of the day? I think those are sort of the key things to have in mind when you're creating content. So and you're creating marketing campaigns, is just to really sort of think, well, what is the purpose of this? And am I building trust with my customers?
Or on mute. That's a great segue into the final bit of the session.